Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Miami Dolphins, more specifically Xavien Howard, after him and the Dolphins have reworked their deal, and Xavien is happy to stay with the team and is no longer requesting a trade. So for the other teams that were hoping to get Xavien Howard, maybe a Chargers, maybe a Cardinals, that's unfortunate, but for the Dolphins, I'm sure a big sigh of relief just came across just your whole body, knowing that your playoff chances are still there, because without Xavien, the playoff chances would become very short, in my opinion, for Miami. But for one of that topic, question for those of you, and comment down below, do you think with Xavien this Miami team will get into the playoffs? Just because I think this could really help them doesn't mean you guys will, so I do want to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think Miami will make the playoffs this year? Yes or no? Just a quick question. Getting straight into it though, for the most part, what I've put together from it, details are still coming out, is that Xavien Howard basically got more guaranteed money. That's what he said. He pretty much wanted, you understand what he signed is what he signed. At the time he was the highest paid cornerback, but now that, the next guy set the benchmark, he's not getting it anymore, but he still wanted more guarantee, and he felt like his past season really showed that he deserved it. And I agree. I mean, last time a cat had 10 interceptions in a single season, I think Antonio Cromartie, and that was like over 10 years ago, or pushing 10 years, one of the two. And Xavien Howard is showing I'm worth more money, or I'm at least worth showing I deserve to have my money that's coming towards me. So I do think it's best of both worlds. Miami's not giving up another $20 million. They're just guaranteeing more. And I heard around $3 million or so is going to be added in incentives. If Xavien Howard gets 10 picks again and now he wants to rework it again, it's already worked into the deal, because here's the extra millions of dollars in incentives that he would have already negotiated today. So I think it was very well done for the most part. I wish they wouldn't have had to gone to the stage of him requesting a trade and it having to really come down to, I don't want to say the wire, last chance, but still just making things more tense. But that's clearly what Xavien needed to do in order for Miami to actually step forward and get the ball rolling on getting this case closed and figure things out. Because like I said, I do think Miami's defense is one of the better ones in the NFL, but you take away a top three corner, they're not half of what they are. I like Byron Jones and Javon Holland. I think that was a good pick. And Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, Emmanuel Ogbah, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jerome Baker. That's a good squad, but it's not an elite superstar tier one talented defense that you could argue that it is with a top three corner, Xavien Howard, if he's staying there. I like this team to possibly make a run at the playoffs, and I like this team to be a sneaky team that can really take the AFC East. I feel like everyone's just handing it to the Bills, and if I was forced to put my own money on the line, I would bet the Bills win the division, but I would also be, somewhat concerned about Miami or New England coming up to steal the division. I wouldn't bet on it being 100% confident. It was just, if I was forced to put my money somewhere, I would put it on Buffalo, but still I would not be shocked if Miami came out and stole it. You could argue their defense is better than the Bills. You could argue their weapons are better than the Bills. The Bills have better tier one receivers in Stephon Diggs. They have an X factor guy, but I could argue that the Dolphins might have more depth. Mike Gesicki's a better tight end than Dawson Knox. Devontae Parker versus Stephon Diggs. Obviously, Diggs is going to win that matchup, but if Jalen Waddle turns out to be this next Tyreek Hill, or can have a Justin Jefferson effect, or Will Fuller can stay a consistent deep threat and doesn't get hurt, again, not saying they are better, but I can make the argument that this Miami team is just as loaded as the Bills. Run game, toss up between the two. Obviously, Josh Allen and the quarterback play is better than Tua, but still, you guys know what I mean. Miami does have its pros and cons and its advantages over Buffalo in some aspects, and that could be enough to steal the division. Either way, without Xavien, I couldn't even speculate Miami being, in the conversation to steal the division. And that just kind of shows how valuable Xavien is. With him being on this team, I'm not saying that Miami will win the division, but it just, at least they're now good enough to give me the possibility to theorize and speculate about it. Without him, I'd say they have zero chance. And that just shows the kind of impact you have on a team in Xavien. And I'm happy for him. I'm glad he got his money, and I'm happy for Miami. Like I said, I think it worked out both ways. Miami's not paying, more and more money and just dumping all they have into him, but they're guaranteeing more. They're just giving him what he pretty much deserves, and Xavien's getting what he wants. And I think it was a great relationship, and it worked out very well. Again, I want to say I wish it didn't have to go to such high tension, but that's clearly what was needed out of Xavien in order for Miami, like I said, to really step forward and say, we got to figure this out. Because they know without Xavien, they're just a shell of what they are on defense. Now, is Xavien probably going to get 10 picks again? No, but it shows he has that upside. He has that ceiling in 17 games. Who's to say he won't get 11 picks? I'm not saying he will, but I'm just saying this is a special talent. I like Miami to possibly make a playoff run. Like I said, wild card round is looking realistic to me. I think the top 5 teams as of right now in the AFC, especially with the Colts dealing with their thing. I'd say the Bills, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens, and Titans are kind of 5 lock-in playoff teams in my opinion, pending any other big injuries or big trades or yada, yada, yada. But I think those are 5 powerhouse, I don't say powerhouse teams, but 5 teams I'd lock into the playoffs, and then that just leaves 2 other wild card spots, There's a good amount of teams that could fight for that spot. The Chargers, Miami, New England, Pittsburgh possibly. A lot of people like Denver's defense. If you're a Raiders fan, they swear to God they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. I don't think they'll be on playoff hunt, but they might be right eventually. I don't know. But either way, those are pretty 5 relatively tight teams that will be fighting to be in one of the last 2 seeds. Like I said, New England, Miami, LA, Denver, and Pittsburgh. And I'm sure there's another one I'm just leaving off the top of my head. What if Joe Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals click? What if New York Jets turn around? I'm just throwing out random names at this point. But like I said, the Colts are another one. If Carson Wentz is healthy, now that's 6 teams that could be fighting for the last 2 spots. It's really tough to see who's going to, make it there. But I do think Miami has a great shot. They'll be in the hunt for it. They'll be in the running for it. It just depends how they win these, division matchups. Can they sweep New England? Can they split with the Bills? Can they go 5-1 the division? They're going to need type of runs like that. Can they at least go 4-2? They play the NFC South. I believe they play the Bucs division. Can they go 3-1 outside of the Bucs? I don't expect you to beat the reigning Super Bowl champs Tom Brady, but can you handle Jameis Winston, a Sam Darnold, a Matt Ryan? I hope so. You go 3-1 there. You go 4-2 in your own division. That's already 7-3, and I don't know their every game off the top of my head, but 7-3 off just of that. I think Miami's got a great shot. Hopefully they don't get gypped again. I'd rather them go freaking 4-13 than rather see them go 11-6 or something very solid and miss the playoffs again. I don't want to see Miami get ripped off again. I'd rather see them be awful and miss the playoffs, and rather see them be just as good as any other team, but just get gypped at the very last moment. And it is what it is. There's 7 playoff seeds now. It didn't used to be 6. So I can't defend them too much, but overall I think they'll be in the hunt for it. I'm curious to see how it'll be. But again, I love the Xavien Howard deal. He's a top 3 cornerback in the league, and he's got the upside to be better. Brian Flores he's progressing. He's ascending. He is not on the hot seat, but on the hot rocket that's taking his stocks up to the moon. He's doing very good right now amongst coaching rankings, and a lot of people are falling in love with him and what he's doing in Miami. They're just questioning the quarterback play now. Everyone's ready. The weapons are there. Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki. The defense got their top-tier guy back to lead them. Xavien Howard, Byron Jones, Eric Rowe, Javon Holland. Pass rush is ready. Now they got the new young stud and Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, Emmanuel Ogwell. Linebacker core, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jerome Baker. Defense is ready. Weapons are ready. There's just a couple question marks along the way. Can Tua step up and develop? Can Myles Gaskins have this breakout year everyone's expecting? Can the offensive line be a sturdier line? Can Brian Flores continue to ascend? He doesn't have to fly up the coaching rankings from like last year, but can he still continue to progress and just not take a step back? Either way, I think they'll be in the hunt. I like them to make the playoff run, but without Xavien, they wouldn't even be in the conversation, in my opinion. So this was a big deal. I'm glad it worked out for both of them, but I do want to hear from you guys what your opinion is. And as, of course, in front of the question day, where do you think Miami will be in the playoffs or not? Comment down below. And as always, and of course, thank you for watching 2 Minute Warning.